Great. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on perhaps where you are in the world, and welcome. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you. This is a chance for us to be together in our bodies and potentially not have to talk about everything that is happening in the world, but a chance just to drop into an embodied practice. And so I'd love to invite you to join me in that. And feel free to come and go as you need, but I will lead us through about a 45-minute practice. Again, if you can keep your cameras off, you'll stay muted, but a chance for us to kind of drop in, but also be in a collective. So when you're ready, I'm going to move to my mat, and you're welcome to settle into your space, whatever that might look like for you. Again, my name is Jenn Turner. I am the co-director and co-founder of the Center for Trauma and Embodiment. I've had the privilege of doing this work in trauma-sensitive yoga for, 17 years maybe now. And yeah, I'm really glad to be here with you in this space. My pronouns are she, her. I am coming to you from the unceded territory and land of the Wampanoag people and the Massachusetts tribe, and in a place that is just south of Boston in the Eastern time zone in the United States. So when you're ready, we can begin to possibly bring our awareness to our space that we're in. And that might mean that you take a moment to acknowledge that you're here and that you've made it, and that this next practice is time and space for you to meet your body, however it's showing up in this moment. Now, your practice might have a different flow or shape than mine, as we are all showing up with our unique bodies and experiences in this moment. You might make choices that are different than what I offer around pacing or timing, the shapes you embody. Again, this is your practice, and you're welcome to claim it as such. Now, as we begin to kind of drop in here, bring our awareness possibly to the fact that we're here, you might also turn your awareness to your body. And one way to do that could be through movement. So you're welcome to begin to possibly shift from side to side. Now, you might be seated here cross-legged. You could extend your legs. You could be in a different shape. Maybe you're seated on a raised surface like a chair or a couch. So possibly shifting from side to side. You might also begin to shift forward and back. That's also your choice. Or the movements could become circular as well. So possibly circling in both directions. And again, you're welcome to continue to move, or at some point, could find your way back to center with a possibility to shift into head or neck movements. So that might be shifting your chin from side to side. Excuse me. You could pause on one side or the other, or possibly explore continuous movement. Maybe lifting and lowering with your chin as well. Could be another way that you choose to move. Or at some point, a possibility to drop your chin. You could let your head be heavy and begin to shift into head circles. So that could be a half circle. A full head circle, or anywhere in between. As you move, you might notice if you'd like to pause anywhere along the way. or you could explore continuous movement. And then at some point, a possibility to make your way back to center. And maybe you walk your way forward. You could lean forward or round your spine. You're welcome to also drop your chin and maybe rotate your head from side to side. You could let your torso sway from side to side. Again, you might be exploring stillness or movement. That's always your choice. Maybe pausing. Or maybe continuing to move for 3 and 2 and 1. If you'd like, you could find your way back to center with a possibility to adjust how you're seated. If you happen to be cross-legged or your legs are extended, you might want to adjust, or maybe you stay as you are. You're welcome to shift to one side, possibly extending your arm up or alongside your ear. You're welcome to pause here. You could check out where you want to bring your gaze. You might look down toward your mat or to the side, and then maybe doing some circling here. Circles could be smaller or wider in range. You might also circle with your wrist, or maybe both. As you're moving, you're welcome to notice that you're breathing. You could be breathing through your nose or your mouth. With a possibility to shift, maybe up and over to the other side. So you might pause here. And again, maybe in stillness or a possibility to explore movement. Could be some circling of your arm, your wrist, or maybe you embody stillness here. In your own time, you're welcome to find your way back to center. Again, a possibility to walk your way forward, to lean around maybe once more. And then from here, we could begin to shift. So a possibility to shift into a different shape. Now, if you're seated on a surface, you could stay as you are. You can do these movements seated on a chair or couch, or you might also come down sort of to your shins and your palms to your mat. A possibility to begin to lengthen and look forward. Lift your gaze if you'd like. And then maybe rounding. So you might then round your spine. You can move between these two shapes. And maybe lengthening and rounding. Another possibility as we move could be to link these movements to your breath. So you might inhale in one direction and exhale in another. You may also notice that it's not useful to link your breath or even to notice your breath. You're welcome to make choices about where you direct your awareness or attention. So you might stay with this particular movement, or we could try another spinal movement, possibility of drawing in on one side and lengthening on the other. So kind of a side bend. You can do this in seated, or if you happen to be in this particular shape, you can think about it as a side bend. There just may be a different motion in kind of the lower half of your torso. And again, these could be separate, sort of distinct shapes, or you might explore continuous movement. And then a possibility from here to bring your knees to the edges of your mat. You're welcome to round your spine in some way. That might be staying on your forearms. Maybe you have a block or a pillow that you slide under your forehead. You could also extend your arms and invite your forehead to rest on your mat. Again, a rounded spine here. If you're seated in a chair or raised surface, you might round by bringing your forearms to the tops of your legs or your palms down toward the floor. Whatever you choose. Maybe taking a moment to notice feeling or sensation in your body. You might be noticing feeling or sensation in your lower back here. Maybe there's sensation in the tops of your legs. Again, noticing sensation could be another way to bring our awareness into the present moment. Allowing for the possibility that in this moment, you may not notice any feeling or sensation at all. You're welcome to hang out here for as long as you like, but when you're ready, you could rise back up with a possibility to walk your hands out in front of your shoulders, maybe curling your toes and shifting back. You could kind of shift back here in this upside down sort of V shape, maybe bending your knees a little bit or a whole bunch. You might explore where you want to place your feet. They could be at the edges of your mat. They could be somewhere closer to the middle or anywhere in between. And this could also be a shape that you hang out in, but then you might lower back down into that rounded spine or that kind of table shape if you'd like. So, right, you could kind of explore the form and then come out of the form at any point for any reason. And then in your own time, you're welcome to begin to maybe walk your feet and hands toward one another. So we can kind of walk our way to a standing forward fold. Now that might be bringing your forearms to the tops of your legs and bending your knees. Again, you could have your hands on a raised surface, chair, block. You might round, bringing your opposite hand, your opposite elbow. There are lots of ways you might embody this form. You're welcome to make a choice that serves you in this moment. Maybe for 3. And 2. And 1. You're welcome to release your arms, maybe bending your knees a bit more, and you could roll on up to standing. There's no rush in getting there. You're welcome to move at your own pace and timing. And then as we arrive in standing, a possibility to pause here. Maybe taking a moment to orient to upright. You might do some circling with your shoulders. You could have your arms at your side, or maybe bringing your hands to your shoulders and circling with your elbows. You're welcome to move in both directions. And then as we're here in standing, a possibility to take a moment to bring awareness to the fact that we're standing. So that might be by noticing your feet on the ground as a place you could start. So you're welcome to notice your feet on the ground, maybe by moving or shifting. Could rise up onto your toes or back on your heels. You might rock from one side to the other. Possibly noticing the sensation of your feet on the ground. You're welcome to also soften the backs of your knees or lift through the crown of your head, the top of your head. Maybe pausing here. Or if you'd like, we could bring in some movement here as well. One way you might move could be to sweep your arms up and overhead, and then maybe lowering them back down. Right, so this is just one way you might move. Maybe there are others you'd like to explore. And again, as we explore movement, there's always the invitation to link your breath to your movement. It might be inhaling in one direction and exhaling in another. Maybe for a few more rounds, if you'd like. And then in your own time, we could find our way back to center. You're welcome to take your feet maybe a leg length or so apart from one another. So a bit of a distance here. Maybe turning your toes out to the side on one side, kind of turning it toward the short end of my mat. Then you're welcome to bend into your front knee. That might be bringing your arms to shoulder height or bending your elbows. A possibility to pause here. You're welcome to notice that you're breathing. You could also add some breath. And then from here, if you'd like, you're welcome to explore kind of a side angle. So that might be bringing your forearm to the top of your leg and extending your arm up or alongside your ear. You can pause here. And then a possibility to straighten your front leg and come through center, possibly a reverse shape. That might be extending your arm up. You could flip your palm to the wall behind you. And then we could link these movements together, sort of into one continuous movement, or you might sort of pause in any one of them. Continuing if you'd like, linking your breath if that's interesting to you as well. Pausing anywhere along the way. And then when you are ready, you're welcome to find your way back to center and a possibility to turn your feet so that they're parallel or turn toward one another. You're welcome to pause in upright or begin to maybe fold forward. So folding forward again could be that you've got your hands on a block. They could be on the tops of your legs, maybe a chair out in front. Maybe you're rounding here in some way. You're welcome to explore an expression of this form that works for your body. And sometimes we may not be sure what we want to choose. So you're welcome to try some options and notice what serves you in this moment. If you'd like, we could pause for another few breaths. And then when you are ready, you're welcome to rise kind of halfway. You could pause there or make your way all the way toward upright. A possibility from here to shift to the other side. You could turn your other toes to the side and maybe bending into your knee. You might bring your arms at shoulder height. You could bend your elbows, really whatever you like. Maybe pausing for a breath or two. And again, you can pause here, or we could shift into that side angle. So maybe extending your arm up or alongside your ear. Possibly pausing here. You might check out where you'd like to bring your gaze. And then at some point, maybe making your way back through center. You could straighten your front leg and take a reverse shape. And then again, we could link these together. You might find that you'd like to pause in any one of these shapes. So an invitation to make different choices on different sides of your body based on what you're noticing. Maybe continuing for a few more rounds if you'd like. And then at some point, could bend back into your knee, maybe bringing your palms back to your mat. And you're welcome to step to that, again, kind of upside down V shape, or maybe to a rounded spine that serves you in this moment. Your forearms, letting your forehead rest. Wherever you land, you might take a moment here to notice that you're breathing. Breathing through your nose or your mouth. And then in your own time, you could possibly explore shifting into seated. So you might shift kind of back into seated, maybe extending your legs out in front of you. You're welcome to sit on a cushion. You might be choosing to be in your chair. Again, either one of these is a possibility. If you're seated maybe on the ground, to draw your knee in and drop one knee to the side. If you're in a chair, you might extend both legs out in front of you and flex your feet. A possibility from here to walk your way forward. That could be leaning forward, maybe rounding your spine. You're welcome to rotate your head from side to side if you're interested in movement. And you might also take this as an opportunity to notice any feeling or sensation that might be present for you. Could be some in your lower back, particularly on the bent knee side of your lower back. Maybe there's some sensation around the back of your neck. Or maybe you're noticing feelings somewhere else in your body in this moment. Maybe pausing, or maybe at some point walking your way back towards center. And then you're welcome to bring the sole of your foot to the inside or outside edge of your leg. And from here, we could actually, you know what? I'm going to wait for this. I just changed my mind in the moment, in case some of you are in chairs that may not work as well. So you're welcome to draw your opposite knee in and drop your knee to the side. Again, if you're seated in a chair, you might still have both legs extended out in front of you. Maybe flexing your foot or feet. You're welcome to lean forward, round your spine. I forgot to mention this on the other side, but if you've got something you would want to put underneath your knee, like a pillow or a folded blanket, you're welcome to do that. Again, inviting the possibility that one side or one particular moment might feel different than the next. So you may make different choices, different sides of your body or from moment to moment. Again, inviting in that opportunity to notice sensation. Maybe there's feeling, there can be a dynamic behind the back of your kind of calf, your lower leg or your knee. Maybe there's some sensation in the middle of your spine, around your shoulder blades. Pausing here if you'd like, or whenever you're ready, we can make our way back to center. A possibility to kind of find your way here. And you might extend both of your legs, or you could bring the soles of your feet together. In either one, you're welcome to kind of embody being upright or leaning forward. Now, if you've got your legs extended, you might be deciding to bend your knees a little bit or a whole bunch. Again, always your choice. Wherever you are, maybe pausing for another few moments. And then in your own time, you're welcome to begin to consider making your way possibly toward your back. So again, you're welcome to maybe find your way toward your back. So that might mean that you draw your knees into your torso along with you. Maybe rounding here. And that could be pausing at center, or you might choose to kind of rock from side to side. Could also do some circling of your knees. Maybe circling in both directions. And then at some point, a possibility to bring the soles of your feet to your mat. You can bring your feet to the edges of your mat, the center of your mat, or anywhere in between, and then maybe dropping your knees from side to side. You could pause on one side or the other, or maybe flow. So that could be continuous movement or pausing anywhere along the way. You might even drop your knees to one side and then invite your gaze over to your other shoulder. If you've decided to stay in a chair here, you're welcome to take your feet. They might be a little further away from one another, and you can do the same gesture seated in your chair. You might even be looking over one shoulder as you drop your knees to one side or the other. And then from here, you're welcome to bring the soles of your feet back to your mat. And possibly take one of your ankles and bring it over to your opposite knee. Same thing can be done in seated, can be on your knee or lower on your leg. And you're welcome to pause here. Maybe some movement side to side that interests you. You might also bring your hand to your knee and kind of press your knee away from you. Another option could be to interlace your fingers. Probably not in your chair, but if you're on your back, you might experiment with interlacing your fingers back behind your opposite leg. A possibility with whatever expression of the form that you choose. We pause here, maybe for a few moments. It could be noticing your breath. That might also be, again, noticing sensation in your body. Could be some on the outside edge of your kind of upper leg. Maybe there's some feeling going on in and around your middle back or lower back. Possibly noticing feelings somewhere else in this moment. And then when you are ready, you're welcome to possibly switch sides. You could lower, you might even take a moment with your feet on your mat or on the ground, maybe pausing, kind of resetting. And then whenever you're ready, a possibility to shift to the other side. So that might be bringing your opposite ankle to your knee. Could press your knee away. Maybe pausing here. Movement or stillness. You might also decide that you want to interlace your hands again here, inviting that possibility that we can have different experiences from one side of our bodies to the other. So you might make a different choice on this side versus the other one of how you embody this shape. Movement or stillness. Maybe for 3. Always knowing you're welcome to shift out of a form whenever you're ready. 1, 2. And 1. A possibility to bring your feet kind of back to your mat. You might again drop your knees from side to side. Or you could also take your feet to the edges of your mat, maybe turning your toes toward one another and letting your knees rest on one another. And the intention being that your legs kind of hold each other up, so you don't have to effort. So you might sort of adjust where your feet are placed. And then a possibility from here to shift into maybe your final sort of organized shape together might be to draw your knees to your torso. You're welcome to roll over to one side. Either side works. You could kind of stack your arms. You might stack your legs, pausing on your side if you'd like, or you could extend your top arm up and over into a twist. You might decide you want to bend your elbows, or maybe your arms are straight. A possibility to pause here. Gaze could be over either shoulder or towards center. And then whenever you're ready, you're welcome to shift to the other side. That might be, again, sort of drawing your knees, rolling on over to the other side. Kind of stack here, and then a possibility when you're ready, again, there's no rush in getting there, but to extend your arm up and over. So again, you could have your elbows bent. You might even decide the arm that maybe comes up and over is alongside your torso. Lots of ways that we might embody a twist here. And maybe pausing. For 3. And 2. And 1. And you're welcome to find your way back to center. From here, if you'd like, we could explore embodying some expression of resting. So resting could be that you decide to find a place to be still, and resting can also include movement. But you might decide to kind of hang out on your back. You could have your knees bent. You might extend your legs or slide a cushion underneath your knees with extended legs. You're welcome to roll to one side or your stomach. You might be seated in a chair, raised surface, or on a cushion. But however you choose, the possibility to begin to kind of make your way towards some shape that you'd like to explore resting in. And again, just like every other kind of shape that we explore here, you're always welcome to shift or change what you're doing at any point for any reason. But a possibility as you begin to move toward resting, whatever that might look like for you in this moment. You're welcome to notice if you're aware of a place on your body that's connected to the surface beneath you. It could be a spot on one of your arms or your back, it's on your leg, back of your head. And maybe in that one particular spot, you begin to invite a heaviness or a softening of your muscles into the support that's beneath you. And allowing for the possibility that if one part of us can rest or be at ease, that can have an impact on all parts of us. Maybe taking the next few moments as your own time to rest or to be at ease in any way that you're able to in this moment. And then slowly, as you're ready, you're welcome to begin to bring awareness back into the room if you'd like. So inviting the possibility you would like to stay exactly as you are and you might tune out the sound of my voice. You might also choose to rock from side to side, stretch around your spine. So you could begin to shift into movement, or you might find that you'd like to shift into another shape. Your rounded spine or rolling to one side if you're not already there. And then if you'd like, you could consider how you want to close our practice here. So if there's a shape you'd like to embody, could be seated, could be any the shapes maybe we explore tonight. Again, a rounded spine, a forward fold. But whatever you choose, an invitation to acknowledge and honor yourself for being here in this moment, for being present, and for practicing in any way that you were able to in this moment and today. Honoring all that we are holding, witnessing, experiencing in this world, and wishing you all an easeful rest of your day or evening. Thank you. So this session is recorded. We will post some of these sessions, but thank you so much for being here, for your presence. It's felt even if we are quiet here. Thank you. You're so welcome. Take care, everyone. You're so welcome. Thank you all. Thank you. You're so welcome. Really an honor to be here with you all. All right, take care. I'm going to close the meeting. Appreciate you all being here.